Now, let's welcome in Madeiras Director of Instruction, Chris Mayson. And Chris, I'm gonna ask you, Chambers Bay, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
First thing is links course, obviously. It's the first time America have done something like this at a links course in America, but I think they've done a really good job, and it's holding up pretty well so far.
You say links course, and I see a lot of people. There was even a story today on Fox where they're like, do not call this links golf, because you look at it and it's brown on the fairways, brown, on the greens. I mean, you should call them browns, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a different style of golf course for America, but it's not like a true links golf like it is in England and Scotland, where I grew up. In England, obviously, it's a lot more by the sea, a lot by the ocean. It's a lot colder, there's a lot more wind. We're seeing a golf course with no real defense right now. The wind is down, and they're tearing it up. The
other thing is the train passing by. I thought was quite interesting. When you move in the gallery, they're like, the guy pulls back, and I mean, there's a train coming by. There's a giant train coming by. How's that not distracting?
It's all part of the atmosphere, though, isn't it? It's a bit of culture and adds to the the culture of the course. So I think it's great.
Well, I guess I got to play one of those. Phil Mickelson said the players who play well in the British Open style courses will do well on this one. And of course, he won a British Open, and I mean, 1 under is not a bad go for the first round, is it?
It's very good, actually, for him. Obviously, he won the British Open a couple of years ago, and he's got to be one of the favourites going into this. You have to be able to shape the golf ball really well around links golf courses. Got to be creative, and if the wind gets up, then it's going to be to his advantage.
I have to ask you, is this the year that Phil Mickelson wins it? He's missing that one for the career Grand Slam.
I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to be here. It's the widest fairways they've had at the US Open in 70 years. He doesn't hit the driver that well typically, so if there's going to be a chance, it's going to be this year.
Explain to me why creativity is so important on this course, and which he is. He's probably the most creative guy in golf.
Yeah, he really is. He shapes the ball beautifully. But on a golf course like this, the links golf course, it's a lot about how you run the ball in. It's a lot about how you play the slopes on the greens. And if the wind gets up, you're going to have to shape the ball back into the wind and use the wind to your advantage. So if it gets up, then I'd be looking for him this weekend.
He didn't like the course. One thing on the course, here he is after his round.
I think the biggest challenge is that the green speeds are different from green to green. That's the only thing I could possibly think of that is not really positive, because I think it's been very well done.
He's just about the only guy that's really not complaining. I know Sergio said this is one of the worst courses. It was embarrassing for the U.S. Open to be on this course, and another guy would just be happy to get to the green and be Tiger Woods. I mean, watching him today, it's fun to watch Tiger Woods again, because he's just putting it all over the place, but there's so much drama after he hits the ball, isn't there?
Yeah, it's really disappointing to watch now. He looks like he's on his way to another 80, and he's really struggling with his golf swing. He's hitting it all over the place, working on his golf swing on the golf course, and I don't know. I hope he finds it, because it's disappointing watching one of my heroes play as badly as he has been.
When you see a guy like that who's working on his golf swing in the middle of a round of a major championship, and he's a former major winner, I mean, what does that mean for you as an instructor?
I mean, it's really difficult to watch, because clearly he doesn't have a clear plan as to what he needs to do in order to get better. He doesn't understand what the golf ball is doing when he does certain things with his golf swing. So at the moment, his instructor and himself don't have a very clear idea as to what makes the ball go in a certain direction, and that's why he's not shooting the scores.
I know he had a lot of physical issues, but is this a mental or physical issue that he's having right now as he's playing this course?
At this point, he's just completely lost. I mean, he's got no idea where the ball's going, doesn't know what he's doing with his golf swing, and he's clearly lost confidence.
Well, let's talk about some of the leaders. It's totally a different course that we're seeing from morning to afternoon. So, some of these guys were teeing off at like 8 in the morning, other guys were teeing off at 3 o'clock our time. And as we're seeing the scores kind of different, Dustin Johnson and Henrik Stenson were both at 5 under. Why do courses like this play so differently from daytime to evening?
Yeah, well, it is on the coast, and it's very, very similar to Torrey Pines. So they have Poana greens, which get much bumpier and a lot longer in the afternoon. So the judging of the speed is different. The ball doesn't roll as true. And then what's happened is the sun's come out this afternoon, which has browned the course out, made it a little bit tougher to hold your distances. So guys are having a really hard time scoring.
You said this is it's playing pretty easy right now. I mean, but if the wind kicks up, what happens to this course?
I mean, it's going to be a lot more different. I don't think the US Open and the USGA are going to be very excited about the fact that there's a lot of people under par, especially 5 under par. A couple of guys at 5 under par is just not what they're looking for. Usually they look for about even par. So if the wind gets up, they'll tuck the pins, and I think you'll see guys come back.
A couple guys that are very interesting are the 2 amateurs, Gun Yang out of SDSU, who won the U.S. Amateur, and then this kid, he's 15 years old, Cole Hammer out of Texas. 15 years old. Talk about these guys. I mean, they're, what, 7 and 4 under par, or over par. Did either of these guys make the cut?
I don't see either of them making the cut. Cole's 15. It's just terrific for him just to even get into the event. He's so tiny, he doesn't have the distance to be able to overwhelm it, and then if he does get in there fescue, then he's not going to be able to get it out. Interestingly, there's 17 amateurs in the field this week, so it's actually quite a weak field, but really terrific to see all those guys get in.
And when you see amateurs like this in the field that are actually, I believe there was one on the, I think, second page of the leaderboard,
Yeah.
what does that say?
It's just a testament to the quality of golf now. You get these guys coming out of college. I think Brian Campbell at the moment is on the leaderboard. He's 2 or 3 under par, so for a guy like that to come out of college, he clearly has the confidence and ability in his game, and it's great for golf.
Okay, we have 30 seconds left, though. Who's your pick to win?
I picked Rory at the start of the week, mainly because it's a links golf course and he grew up on links courses, but at this point, I like Dustin Johnson, did well at Whistling Straits, kind of a links golf course, and that would be my pick at this point.
Isn't that like bringing back your blackjack bet, where you say, no, I don't like my cards? Anyway, all right. Chris Mayson, you can check him out on Saturday with the KUSI and Madeiras golf tips. I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.